Hi again guys, and welcome to another balance of performance friendly tune setup for Gran Turismo Sport. There seems to be a bit of confusion in the past as to what tunes can and can't be used with balance of performance, or that you have to upgrade for. All of my tunes can be used with balance of performance. That's the whole point. You don't have to upgrade everything or even anything, but you can if you want to. So for this one, just to highlight that, I haven't done anything to it. It's got stock power, stock weight. So of course you can just do with it whatever you will from there on. Now, traction control you want turned off. That's on 3, but it wasn't when I was using it. You'll obviously see that in a second when we drive it. Racing hards is what I've gone for, because that's generally what you'll be using, of course. As far as the suspension, I've dropped the ride height to 60mm on the front, 70 on the rear. The frequency of the suspension, I've just increased a little bit to 3.1 front and rear. The anti-roll I've rounded off to 6 front and rear, with the compression on 56, rebound on 86. We are running no camber whatsoever, completely neutral, and neutral toe as well. But of course, as with all of my tunes, these are specifically designed to be very, very open and very neutral, so that it's basically the bare bones of what I would recommend, and it allows anyone to personalize it to what they want. So if you want to change anything, that's absolutely fine. If you want to give it like 1 degree of camber, or a little bit of toe, or make the suspension higher, you can do all that kind of stuff. As far as the downforce, we've got that as high as possible, because it is predominantly a cornering build. And again, just lower that if you need more top-end speed for, of course, a certain circuit. As far as the diff, I've gone for halfway on initial torque and the lowest settings for both acceleration and braking. That's pretty much perfect for me with this car, but of course that won't necessarily be the case for other people. And as far as the gearbox, again, this is just for standard power, so if you adjust it, you will need to make some changes here, but I've gone for an auto setting of 180, then individual gears of 2.3, 1.7, 1350, 1125, 975 and 875, with that final drive of 3.5. So as I said, if you do choose to increase or decrease the power, you will definitely want to adjust those accordingly, but for anywhere around the standard power, or a little bit more or a little bit less, those gearing or those gear ratios will be good enough. So that's it for the setup overall. So all that remains, of course, is to actually take it out on a track to see what it can do. Now, the reason why doing a tune for this particular car, which may not seem like an obvious choice, is actually because this was requested. It was a car which, of course, I have praised in the past on the channel, but it's one which some people apparently have found a little bit too slippery, or not really keeping up the kind of pace that they want a Corvette to have. That's fair enough, and that's the whole point of this tune. The vast majority of my tunes for existing race cars, be it Group 3s or Group 1s, tend to be tunes which are more about making the car more accessible to people as a whole. My tunes are not, and never will be, designed to be the fastest in the world. That's just not what I'm even going for. What I try to do is provide people with a tune that gives them a head start, especially for people who aren't as familiar with tuning, so that it can get them into doing the basic stuff, but stuff which at the same time can make huge differences to how well the car handles and how forgiving it is. And that definitely is the case here. Now, as you'll see towards the end of the video, this car can run in the low 141s or even in the 140s, and that's with me driving. So, of course, I'm nowhere near the fastest of drivers. I've said that a number of times. So you could quite easily get it even lower, and the car definitely has that potential. It's very easy to drive, very forgiving, and I have no doubt whatsoever that even with this same tuning, you could drop the weight and increase the power, and it will still handle very well. The car has very aggressive handling, but at the same time it is very forgiving. It's more on the side of being heavier through corners than slippery, which is, I would say, what you want from a Corvette. You don't want it to be fishtailing around all over the place. So if you do decide to use this tune, I hope you have a whole lot of fun with it, and you can definitely win races with it, that's for sure. So if you'd like to check out more of my tunes, you can stick around to the end of this video and click through to see all of them. But for now, as always, thanks for watching.